Hi guys, my name is Anastasia and I'm a co-founder of Soul Coffee brand. You know, we are operating the self-service coffee stations here in Vienna, Austria, and today I would like to share with you 7 rules of successful coffee shop from our personal experience and what we learned throughout our journey of business operation. If you already operate your own coffee shop or you would like to open one, then this video is exactly for you. So take your pen, put the thumbs up for this video and let's dive into it. Rule number 1, control. Usually it happens in the following way. Once you open your business, you feel like you're controlling everything, simply because you're at the very early stages of the business development. However, all your tasks are turning into the routine and it is really tricky to continue controlling everything. At this point, you should clearly understand that you can't 100% rely on any other person with whom you're working with, because they can't feel that all responsibility which you are taking about your business. So make sure that throughout all the stages you make sure that everything is controlled. What we usually do at Soul Coffee, we constantly monitor and control everything. We check our self-service coffee stations. We develop groups in messengers where we monitor certain tasks and where we set our own goals just to make sure that we are going to reach next achievements. Even though my main goal should lay more in strategical oriented tasks, I still try to visit all the stations just to make sure that operational process is working smoothly. And at the same time, it is very important to put yourself into your consumer shoes and go to any of the stations and just feel the same experience as they do. Rule number 2, secret guests. This might be very important people in your business because they will help you to ensure the quality and a really good experience at the end of the day. If you're operating a coffee shop, it would be a really great tool to check how your employees are working. Is the quality there, and if all standards are working smoothly? In our case, since we're operating multiple locations, the secret guests helps us to ensure that the cleanliness of the stations is there and that our service team is working perfectly. In addition to that, since we're having franchisees, secret guests also help us to keep the standards in terms of the franchising, which means that according to the checklist which we give to them, they help us to understand whether the franchisee is working with the specialty coffee beans, if there is a fresh milk on the station, if the syrups and all other supplies are there, and if the station is clean. Rule number 3. We as entrepreneurs tend to forget about our consumers or customers. And this is something what takes us back again to the first stages. At the very beginning of the business opening, we always think about the consumer. We ask them, we follow up. We are worrying how was their experience in our coffee shop or self-service coffee stations, but at some point we might forget about it. And this is something what I personally don't like. We as entrepreneurs have to make sure that the consumer feels valuable. So in case if you operate a coffee shop, you could make a certain questionnaire for them to understand whether your business is operating great or if there are certain mistakes which you need to improve. We at our self-service coffee stations from time to time make the promo days, and during this time we are asking consumers if everything is alright, if the quality is there, if your experience was good. This is something what allows us to learn from our mistakes and improve our business processes. Rule number 4. Never be afraid to ask for an advice from someone who is more experienced, more professional in a sphere in which you're working. Once you open a business, you already have felt that the networking is a key to the success of your business operations. The more people you know, the more knowledge you can gain. And this is something what can help you within your coffee shop, or in our case, within our self-service coffee stations. During the time when we just launched our first 2 coffee stations, we invited several business owners here in Vienna from whom we wanted to hear feedback. Let's call it like a soft opening, but for independent experts. At the time when they were coming to our coffee stations, we received a lot of interesting insights about which we couldn't think at the time when we were just developing the business. This can be applicable at the coffee shop as well. If you feel like you are not sure about some of the business processes, you can always approach someone more experienced and not to be afraid of asking about it, because in most of the cases it can become a win-win situation. Rule number 5, participation. Participation in different events, participation in different conferences. If you run your own coffee shop, participate in different exhibitions, become a sponsor of some national days. This is something which will help you to spread a word about your business and maybe attract more consumers. In our case, at self-service coffee stations, we already knew at the very first stages of our business opening that we need to visit more events, that we need to ask organizers to put our station there. And this is something what actually helped us to reach more audience and to get more recognition here in Vienna. Rule number 6. Sometimes the owners of the coffee shops or any business which is related to the restaurant industry hesitate the relationships with their suppliers. And sometimes I don't really understand why. At some extent, these people are responsible about the happiness of your consumer. So from your side, you need to make sure that your supplier is happy as well. Once your supplier is happy, you will get the high quality products, you will get everything in time. You might not get into the stressful situation as often as it could be. So why not just simply have a good relationship with the supplier? Send them a really good greeting card, or to send them a really nice message, or make for them some special offers within your business. So make your suppliers your really good friends. Last but not least, rule number 7, and this is one of the most important rules, which I believe something which drives the business. Do what you love. Run the business which you love, open the coffee shop which you love, run the coffee station which you love. And this is something which will bring you the most successful, the best result, which will drive you crazy and which will motivate you every single day. Because sometimes again it happens that at first steps of the opening business, you feel that motivation, you feel the essence, you feel the drive. And then at some point you realize that, oh, here is something wrong, here is something bad. And some entrepreneurs burn out and they don't feel like they want to run it anymore. But once you love what you do, you will continue no matter what. So love what you do and do what you love.